Hello, everybody, and welcome to Electra. I am the founder, Lake Uthaya, and I am a model, a content creator, and your former Femina Miss India Punjab 2022. I have my main channel where I used to talk a lot about pageants and modeling, and I've just planned to switch that to this channel so that you can get a lot more goodness of self development, self love, self care in that channel, and get a lot of pageants and modeling and acting and content creation in this channel. So if that sounds like something that excites you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can also follow Electra on Instagram. Apart from that, we also have a Facebook page. All of that stuff is linked in the description, so make sure you have a look at it. But to start this channel off, I thought it would be great to actually start with my Miss India journey. So that's what this video is going to be about, how I got here, what I did, what I shouldn't have done, what I learned from, so that you have a fast track to get to your crown. Here's the thing about my beginning. I never dreamt of pageants. I don't know why, but Miss India was never a childhood dream. I always wanted to be a Bollywood actor. I remember even in UKG, I would like take the lunch breaks out to choreograph Bhumro Bhumro, the Preeti Zinta song, and I would have other people come along and join me. And even after I moved from Chandigarh to Bangalore, I went ahead to choreograph Zara Zara Touch Me and the race title track and stuff in the back of my APS barracks. And I would have like other girls join me and we would practice the moves. There was no song, no phone, no music. It was all in here. And that's when I just knew that the love of performing was always there in me. To actually understand me completely, you can always go check out this video. It's the first video that I put up on my main channel. It explains a little bit about where I come from and what I am and what I do. The first pageant that I actually ever attended was a school fest of my own. It was called Mr. and Miss Zephyrus, and I was in 10th standard. I had no idea about anything, and I just participated. I got through the first round, which is the Western wear, and then the second round was ethnic wear. And although I didn't make it to the third round, so I did not really get to do Q&A, I remember walking in that ethnic wear and the whole school going crazy and screaming. And I mean, even though I didn't make it to the next round, for me, it was mind boggling to be like, okay, you can wear a certain outfit, walk up and down the ramp, and get this much validation? Wow. Here's where I started to learn from my rejections, right? In 12th standard, even though none of us wanted to, we had a pageant called Mr. and Miss APS. And I participated in that, had a contestant number, same drill. We were already wearing saris, so they were just judging us based on the way we looked and our confidence. I again didn't make it to the next round, which was the question and answer round. But I do remember noticing a friend who was asked a question, "Who is your inspiration?" And she went on to say Oprah Winfrey. And it struck me. I was like, okay, first of all, I don't even know this name. Who is this person? And secondly, I realized, of course, I was reading a lot of fictional books, which made me really strong in my language, but I didn't know a lot about the world outside. So I was like, okay, probably a lot more research will help here. And then I went ahead to do my BBA, and there was Freshers' Day in that college, and I participated in it. We went through the first round, which we had to behave like cartoons and they had to guess it. And then the second round was a talent round, which I sang a Beyonce song called Halo, way out of my range just because I thought I could pull it off. I love how delusional we used to be when we were kids, and obviously didn't make it to the next round. But what I did notice to the girl who won, she wasn't like the prettiest or the most well groomed or whatever, but she danced on a regional song basically, and the crowd went wild. And that also was a learning that, okay, your performance should be less about what you can do and more about how it can appeal to the masses. Learning number two. I then, of course, participated in a lot of these fashion shows that we used to have in our college, but never really pageant was an option. But during my last year, when I was preparing for CAT for my BBA, I remember that Miss India audition, the buzz was around. I knew a few girls were going in for the South Zone auditions, and I had kind of learned how to manage myself in heels. So I begged my mom, like, please let me go do this. And she obviously said, no, your future is going to be in your MBA. It's going to be CAT. No, you're not going to go for that. So I remember sitting in a 4 hour long weekend session that I used to take in a time institute, which was teaching me math, which I absolutely did not understand, looking out the window, watching a little bit of drizzle happening and thinking, oh, now is the time when all these people are going to be giving their auditions. And I obviously forgot about it after that. Then, when I went to Symbiosis, yes, I did crack CAT and SNAP, and I did get a Symbiosis Pune College. I remember during the end of my first year, they had their annual fest. Again, Mr. and Miss Orion is what it was called. And I saw the prize money, and it was 15,000 rupees. And when you're out of your state, you're living by your own, there are always expenses that you just can't ask your father or your parents from. So I was like, this is a great way to make money. So I put in the effort to do my talent. I knew how to walk in heels. I wore the same heels that I was wearing for the last 4 years, because who else is going to buy high heels? And yeah, I went ahead and participated in it. And surprise, surprise, I won, which gave me the confidence to go ahead and participate in a lot of other intercollegiate fests, same in the title round of their pageant. And I kept winning back to back to back. And with every competition, I realized that it wasn't the most articulated answer that actually won. It was the one that sounded the most heartfelt. And that was my learning number three. And I also realized that talent was my strongest suit, because there were girls who were better than me in the way they spoke, but I knew that the way I danced, like, it won hearts. So I knew that was something I needed to constantly focus on. And here is the funny part: when you win certain intercollegiate fests, you bring a lot of name laurel to your own college, right? So we would have a coffee with the director. So there was this one session where all the winners of different college fests were sitting together and having a tea or a coffee with the director. And he went on to say, oh, you guys, talk to her with respect. You never know, she might be the next Miss India. And everybody laughed. I laughed. Obviously, this was not even a plan, but you see how words have power. It still stays with me because he kind of said it and it just somehow stuck in my subconscious. Then COVID happened. I moved back home and I participated in an online pageant where we were qualified based on our ramp walk. So I went ahead and shot my ramp walk in a contemporary dance studio with one of my friends' help. And when these walks were displayed in front of all the contestants, I realized I had the worst walk. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing, and there were other girls who were moving so flawlessly. And that was my learning number five, that said, okay, there is a certain way to walk in heels. It's just not about having balance and not falling. There is an art to this. I remember playing Alicia ma'am teaching these campus princess girls on YouTube and like trying to understand, okay, how is she turning like that? What is she doing constantly, but never really understanding it completely. What a lot of you don't know, that I actually went to MBA with the intention to go to Mumbai for auditions, because like I said, I wanted to be an actor, and by the end of the 2 years I would have an acting project in hand, and then I would tell my parents, oh, I'm sorry I wasted your money, but I'm going to pay you back with the money I make from this movie. Little did I realize that B schools are extremely hectic, and kya weekend, kya weekday, I wouldn't even know subah raat kya hoti thi. The 2 years were just super, super hectic. And obviously, that plan did not work. So I think as the placement season started to come in for my MBA, I was so distraught. And I did sit for my placements with a heavy heart, because what else would I do? And I got placed on day zero, which means on the first day of placements, a company which is Infosys came in and mass recruits, and I was one of them. So, of course, it was a good thing that I never had to sit for any placement again, because I had a job beforehand. And my parents were ecstatic, right? Because it was my first job. They were like, oh my God, they're calling relatives and saying, oh my God, she's got it. She's going to be going to Infosys now, etc. And I remember locked up in my room, tears streaming down my face, just looking up at the ceiling and thinking, this is exactly what I didn't want. And I cannot believe that this has happened to me. I had no ounce of joy at all. Now, here's where the power of listening to your intuition comes in. I was in the transition period where my college had ended and my company orientation was happening. And I remember I was picking up a teacup from a paper kept below. And I picked that up and I saw on the paper, and there was a picture of Manasa Varanasi. Like, she was joining her hands and she was basically talking about how she was a corporate girl who never dreamed of being in this space, but she's won the pageant. And that's where it struck me. And I was like, oh my god, even if you join the corporate you can still participate. Like, that's how unaware I was, because I didn't know that anybody can participate if you have the right talent and the look and everything. And when someone is leading with broken hopes and dreams, you will latch on to anything that gives you a sense of direction. So I was like, this is what I am going to do. I went online, I searched for it, and I realized, oh, there is something called pageant training institutes, which actually train you for such things. And then, of course, I had Alicia Ma'am's institute that came up. And because I was, looking at her on YouTube, this felt like a dream come true. I paid the institute fees by my first month's salary, and the practice would obviously happen inside because it was an online thing. And I would just tell my parents that, oh, it's like a personality development course, and never did I even mention pageants out loud. But after the whole session got over, I actually even won a few things in that session, which made me really confident. I would practice every day after college. So when a certain pageant called First Miss India, which was the first edition of a Rajasthan newspaper, had come to Bangalore to do their South auditions, I participated just to see if I was completely ready, because I was practicing after getting trained. And I actually was one of the winners of that pageant. And that gave me like massive confidence that I was ready. But here is what you guys don't know. I was actually not the first choice for Miss India Punjab 2022. Yeah, let me explain that. So what happened is I gave my auditions. Of course, you can watch a video here where I say what happens in Miss India auditions. Please go do that and do not ask me questions based on that. And then what I did realize that I was not getting a call back, even though I was asked the most amount of questions in that audition room, and everybody seemed impressed with me. But I started to hear from pageant pages that other girls were started to get confirmed for the state winner titles, and I just wasn't getting a call. Karnataka was filled, so that was out of my hope. Punjab was still not filled, and I had hopes, but then it was really like they were going to announce it on the 30th. Until 28th, I had heard nothing. I cannot tell you the agitation and the pain that comes with like not knowing, but I just said, never mind. And I got a call on 29th, and they rushed me through. Of course, I cried and stuff. They rushed me through signing the contract, and I was in a WhatsApp group where people were already talking. And I was like, okay, I might be the last choice. That's fine. I mean, I'm still in. What I didn't know that the same mail that says you are selected as Miss India Punjab was sent to another girl, someone who was from Punjab, and she said no to it. She read through the contract and she realized that she wanted to prioritize her medical career, and she put up a story apparently on her page saying that thank you so much for the privilege, but I cannot accept it. And then it came to me, what luck. And the funny part, which I think a lot of people do, is that I had put my papers down for Infosys even before I was declared the state title. I gave my auditions, and even though I was not getting a call back, there was like a certain intuition that said that, having this job is going to make it a lot tougher. Just quit. I didn't even know what was next. I would never suggest to people, but I'm just talking about my really strong intuition that just made me quit a job. And I was just lucky to get this title. What if I hadn't? What if the previous girl had accepted? I would end up with no job, no pageant experience, just struggling to get to another one. I don't even want to think of what could have happened. I'm just glad that what happened did. And of course, what happens after Femina Miss India, what happens during Femina Miss India, I have made videos on it. I have also linked them. Go check them out. It's also in the description. But this is a short and a very comprehensive, actually, story of how I actually got the title of Miss India. And I'm just so glad that I could make what I could out of it. I did so much. I feel like I've squeezed so much out of the title that I got, which wasn't even supposed to be mine in the first place, guys. This is a huge reminder that you need to really grasp onto opportunities and make it larger than life. I will see you in the next video. I hope this served as inspiration. If you have any questions, please drop them down below and I will answer them. And let me know what else would you like to see on this channel. I am very excited for the growth of Electra on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.